Alrighty then, I got two very sad games for you today. Which one? But not sad for me, sad for the enemy team. So, yay. First one up is a Dr. Mundo game, and if you were watching the stream, you know, oh, this was real depressing. So, anyways, start off with a low level invade. There's a brand who gets caught by my cleaver. My teammates sort of think that, I'm not gonna chase, but I do give chase. He gets hit quite a bit and ends up being forced to use his flash. Pretty good advantage for us. However, I do lose more than half my health, and I have to pop my little elixir to get, keep myself healthy. I did want to invade Olaf because he's a very easy invasion for Dr. Mundo. I do it anyways. I ward his red. I wait around for a little bit, but it seems like he's going for a more fuller clear, so I decide to leave. But then he shows up. And so I immediately turn around and I just go to him, look at his health. He's not even noticing or anything. He didn't ward or anything. And I get to him, cleave him, just beat him, and oh, he dies. When he leaves the red up for just a little bit and I take it. You know what's going on in his head right now. It's just, hello, darkness, my old friend. He's all sad. And I also kill Talon to boot. And I also get the Scudder Crab. It's just like he didn't even get any of the experience for red buff. It's just so pitiful. Jax gets killed. I'm basically power farming the hell out of the jungle. His jungle, my jungle. I'm really strong. And it's pretty good. Yeah. So get that. I get the second scuttle. That's a big deal. I go down bottom lane. Brand decided to stick around, and I catch up to him. He almost does kill the Jinx, but I beat his ass and he dies too. So I'm almost level 6. In fact, I actually will reach level 6 right now. And it's like, this is ridiculous to be level 6 on Dr. Mundo before 6 minutes even passes. It's pretty much game ending in some senses. I go towards bottom lane again. Brand is just like harassing my teammates, but it's like he's in such a bad position. I beat him and he dies. I go to Olaf's blue. He has no protection against it, so I just immediately take it, run back, get my red. It's just grim times for Olaf. However, I do notice that he stole mine, probably because he knew I was stealing his. So I decide to invade him, and I just notice he just barely took the scuttle, so I know he's barely going to be a red buff. I go in there, he's just barely taking it. Jump him. I secure the red. I give chase. He cannot use the explosion room because he's ultimating, and then it's just like he knows he's dead. So it's just like, hello, darkness, my old friend. It's just like, oh, it's so sad. So he gets killed. Jackson knows I'm right here, so he's just like, I don't know where to go. And he gives it all to kill the Tom, which is the smart choice, but he still ends up dying. So he's sad too. Oh, it's just like, this is a very unfortunate game for the enemy team. It's just like I'm showing up and just being an absolute menace, and the enemy team kills my teammates here, but they fight this in such a bad way, just letting Jinx absolutely obliterate them. 4 kills for the Jinx. So now the enemy team is like, hello, darkness, my old friend. Well, it's just so bad. It's so skewed towards my team. Though my teammate sort of hangs around a little bit and gets killed. And, thankfully they rejoin the fight. And poor Vayne, she goes real ham here, but I destroy her, and I'm way, way too far ahead. And look, I know trying to protect the tower is important and all, but this brand decides to get real close to me. Slowly. He gets close to me, and it's just like the second he gets close, I cleave him, dodges a stun, and then just beat him to death. And he's like, hello, darkness, my old friend, too. It's pretty grim. And then the Vayne decides to do the same thing. She goes in with her ultimate thinking she can kill me, or my teammates. She does kill the Jinx, and they do kill the Blitzcrank, and then her and Talon are like, we can definitely take the Dr. Mundo, only to realize that's a terrible fucking mistake, and dies. They die real promptly. And I get real big, and I got 9 kills. It's just like, it's one of those games where the enemy team's probably realizing like, Dr. Mundo with exhaust. What fucking joke is this? And now at the end of it, they're just sort of like sitting down and thinking, I should probably quit League of Legends now. I just never play again. This Talon wants to go for the Tom, but obviously gets killed. Then the Jax dies too, and I feel so bad for them because it just sort of ran away from them. And I do feel bad for the jungler too, because he gets blamed for that in this game, saying shitty jungler. But it's sort of like, a lot of people underestimate or not familiar with Dr. Mundo being super aggressive early on, just being unstoppable. And it got away from them. It's just like they didn't pay attention to my menace, and now they suffer for it. Though here they do punish my teammates because we don't really have any tanks or any sort of defense, so they came in and ran around causing havoc. But still, it doesn't matter. We're way too far ahead. The only way we could lose at this point is if Vayne gets like a pentakill and then focuses me down. And, you know, yeah, because Vayne is like the ultimate counter to Dr. Mundo. If only then. But then here, the Olaf and the Brand are trying to protect the tower, and towers don't mean shit for Dr. Mundo, so I just run in there and just cause a huge menace. Brand gets killed, and then Olaf gets rocketed, and he gets killed too, and it's just like... The funniest part is this was the promotion of, I think, 2 of them, so at the end of this, they were obviously just like, you know, hello, darkness, my old friend. And yeah, we just pushed for the Nexus, take it down, and the enemy team... They've rescinded themselves to the loss at this point, just hating on each other. And that's it. Game is done. Quite brutal, if I do say so myself. So now we go on to Nunu. I've been playing, well, it's not exactly the new Nunu, but it's the rework Nunu that I've kind of neglected to play for a long time. I've been playing them as of late and winning because I got my ass whooped by several of them, and like I couldn't figure it out myself until I saw players use them, and I decided to emulate what they did. This is how you learn to be better, kids. Watch what whoops your ass and then sort of relegate it to it. Anyways, I go in, snowball the Yasuo, we chunk him for a lot. It's a really good gank, doing a lot of damage. Then Silas with a smite actually beats the Nasus and the Udyr. Well, the Udyr doesn't really do anything, but I know where he is, so I just scan him out, go for the Scuttle Crab, easily devour it. It's a classic matchup between Nunu and Udyr. Historically, Nunu absolutely whoops Udyr. Although he did get changed, that didn't. When I've been playing the new Nunu, it seems that just the new Nunu is really good against Udyr still. So it's pretty fun. So far, I'm just causing a lot of, menace with my balls right now. I whip out my balls, show it to the enemy team, and they just, they can't help but to suck. So, anyways, I go in, once again, exposing my balls to the enemy team. Yeah, I can't keep up that joke. Nailing them and causing a lot of kills. It's just pretty devastating so far. I have been having fun with him. Initially, when his changes came out, he kind of did suck. I mean, he was technically strong, but playing him felt flimsy because your clears were really atrocious. Essentially, without Bami's Cinder, your clearing was really painful. You just were focusing purely on ganking more than anything else. But now that they made it a lot less, sketch with his AoE clearing, it's pretty good, or at least a lot more sensible, and you can do a lot of cool plays. You can still gank like crazy, but you can also control, you can also mildly duel and harass. So it's been pretty good, pretty fun, pretty neat. And he might be one of my top 5 champions to play in solo queue right now. Anyways, invading the Udyr because, it's sad for him, but I didn't have my consume to contest it with him, so he ended up getting it. But yeah, I'm mostly doing some globe-trotting map controlling right now. The enemy Udyr is so far behind. It's really depressing, actually. And also the Yasuo keeps using the wind ball against the snowball, thinking it's worked. It's like, dude, if it hasn't worked the first 4 times, it's not going to work the 5th time. Just stop. It hurts. Anyways, once again, just using my snowball just to try to nail this Yasuo. The Udyr is trying to defend him too, just trying to defend this tower, but they know they cannot approach us. So just kind of standing there. Look at that. The Udyr, I don't know if he knows how to play him or if he feels so pressured by the map control that I've been exerting on him early on as Nunu that he feels he needs to protect the tower instead of farming. But it is putting him behind. He is far less useful than me. Anyways, once again, just invading. And by the way, controlling your balls as Nunu can be pretty difficult sometimes. But once you master it, it's hilarious. Anyways, I go top to try to protect my Silas, who seems at this point losing to the Nasus. Go in there and I think, hey, pop my ultimate and kill him. But no. Instead, all I think now is, hello, darkness, my old friend. But anyways. It seems, despite the fact that I had some good early interference, that it doesn't really amount to much. It seems keeping the status quo, though in the replay you can see I have quite a bit of a gold advantage. Also a dragon advantage, that's pretty good, because nobody can beat a consume from Nunu except maybe a Cho'Gath. Anyways, go with a snowball again, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Go in, take the towers, you consume the vague minion every now and then. And then Lulu gets close, and I snowball her and control it enough just to hit her in the face. But then, whatever her face is, Zaya shows up, and I ult her, and it does a lot of damage, but not enough to actually kill her. Or Kaiser, whatever it is. They all look the same. Basically, Riot makes a lot of skins that really do look the same. It's kind of frustrating at this point, but whatever. Anyways, the enemy team has kind of lost map control. Well, sort of lost map control, but has definitely lost map pressure. So we basically get to harass them. And this, snowball that at the very tippy top hits the Nasus. It's pretty good. Right now, I'm getting used to the ranges of Nunu's snowball. Because it's better to... One of the things I was getting very, very wrong as Nunu is using the snowball to initiate a gank from, the sides or something like that. And therefore my snowball was slower, weaker, and just not effective. So now I've been learning to use it at a range and how far you can use it and how you can control it, etc, etc. So my ganks have been better and better. Instead of, just using it from a closer distance, I use it from mid-range, and I sort of gauge, where it would reach. And by the way, here's a pretty good example of just how brutal Nunu's ultimate can be. They don't really cancel it, and I do cancel it a little bit earlier. But the amount of value it exerts because of the slow and, pressure is pretty damn good. I popped it early, still did good enough damage, and then Renekton was able to get a lot of free hits because the enemy team was concerned with either just getting away from it or trying to stun me, in the case of Udyr at least. But yeah, it's another thing that's super overpowered, I would actually say, with Nunu is how hard it is to kill you if there's anything nearby that you can consume for full health. I am so devastatingly evil as Nunu. And the games I've been playing, it's just like... You take a player who is very experienced with control jungling, at least in these divisions, and you give him a champion that excels at that, while also being able to put a lot of pressure and work in a very supportive role, and it's very brutal. It's been quite fun, and hopefully watching me play him, as I'll probably be uploading more games as him, is, well, a welcome thing. There, my ultimate wasn't all that good because I did it very early on before I got stunned. And so I then get stunned when I tried to do it, but still. Also, I do love that whole Scion kind of thing where you use your snowball to retreat rather than advance, and it just kind of looks funny. Anyways, just kind of fun. It's also hilarious, just how much of a nuisance you can be. And I will confess, while I do find a new Nunu, or the reworked Nunu, a lot more fun than I initially thought, the old Nunu is definitely more fun, if only because of the simplicity of how much of a douche you can be. Come on, there was nothing more fun than simply just frustrating your opponents with how douchey your stuff could be. Just snowball them to death, kite them around for minuscule damage that's super constant, and you just can't die. I miss that. But by far the reworked Nunu, which is now by I think a year old or two, is definitely worthy. And currently in this meta is definitely up there in terms of viability, especially with the Scuttle Crabs not being such an early thing. So you don't have to worry about these awkward duels as Nunu, and now you could just simply control it, or control the map and therefore control all the scuttles, and it's become a lot deadlier. And yeah, there the ultimate didn't do any damage, but it is a prime example of how you can use it simply to zone out the enemy team. Because if they fight in it, they're way weaker, and if they fight in it for long without stopping you, they'll get annihilated. So yeah, the enemy team lost. Both games were really sad in their part because in this case I controlled them, and in the first case they were just depressed and they want to death. Anyways, I hope you enjoy these videos, and good night. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.